Stanley Milgram. He was infamous in the psychology field for his controversial studies and experiments, but was highly renowned for his findings. In a world where psychologists said no to making people think that they killed the man by electrocuting him to death, Stanley Milgram said yes. For God's sake, yes. The Milgram experiment proved to the world that we are much more obedient than we'd like to imagine, and that anyone is capable of an evil act of evil. Milgram pioneered new research methods to reveal the causes of underlying interpersonal behavior, despite being criticized for them. This is Stanley Milgram's true Hollywood story.
The dream of being one of them.
From life's ambition to be a star.
Heavily published in the public scandal.
Yes, Stanley was always a very bright boy. Stanley Milgram was born on August 15th, 1933, to Samuel and Adele Milgram in New York City. He excelled in school, and when it was time for him to go to college, he received a full scholarship.
He's so intelligent. We would always tell him he was a smart boy. And then he'd be all like, thanks. And we'd be all like, you're welcome.
He got his bachelor's in political science from Queen's College. The dean of his college, however, was so impressed with his intelligence, he convinced Milgram to enter the field of psychology.
Yeah, Stanley was a real smart boy, and I said, Stanley, baby, I know your game. Psychology's its name. And he was like, hey, Miss Dino, I really like your style.
No, I don't talk like that at all. After graduating from Queen's College, he got his doctorate in social psychology at Harvard. Social psychology is the study of how thoughts, feelings, and behaviors of individuals are influenced by the actual, imagined, or implied presence of other people.
Dr. Milgram did really incredible things. He made so many people sad.
Stanley Milgram's most well-known study was the Milgram experiment, which tested obedience under authority.
Stanley modeled his research after Solomon Asch's studies.
There were two people involved in the experiment. One was an actor. He played the student. The other was the teacher. The teacher was supposed to ask the student questions, and for every time the student was wrong, he was administered a shock. For every question he got wrong, the voltage got higher. The teacher was supposed to decide, after hearing the student being hurt, if they would keep going.
To provide further clarity and better understanding of the Milgram experiment, we did a brief recreation of what entailed the experiment.
I'm sorry, but that's incorrect.
Stop it! That hurts! Stop it!
I think I'm really hurting her.
Please continue with the experiment.
Next question is Coke or Pepsi?
I decided to do the Milgram experiment because I come from a Jewish family. The experiment took place not long after the Holocaust, which was very difficult for us. We had hypothesized that Germans had a very distinct character flaw in them that would allow them to obey authority in such a way that they could carry out the Holocaust. He initially planned to test it in both America and in Germany to compare the results. However, once he was finished with the experiment, his results were shocking.
The results of his experiments showed that actually anybody could commit these terrible acts and could be ordered around like the Nazis were.
Stanley Milgram was shocked and hurt and really sad with the results of his experiment. So sad that he decided to not even bother going to Germany with the test. He felt it was enough in America. Stanley Milgram also created the theory of the 6 degrees of separation, which basically stated that every person has a contact with every other person via 6 other people. So basically, I know someone who knows someone who knows someone who knows someone, etc., who knows Kevin Bacon. This theory spawned one of America's most favorite games, the 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon, where players try to determine how many people they are away from Kevin Bacon.
As a national Facebook expert, we hypothesized that Stanley Milgram would be friends with Solomon Asch, a fellow social psychologist, Musafir Sharif, and Leon Fissinger, also fellow social psychologists.
we felt this was necessary to share with you. One of the most important byproducts of Stanley Milgram's research and experiments was the music, now performing a live session of their hit song, Stanley Milgram. Give it up for George Lopez and the Alcatraz Cats.